Magandang umaga po. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The seventh hearing on proposed Senate Resolution number 826 is hereby called to order. May I ask the Director General, Attorney Kimbo, to please recognize the resource persons and witnesses present this morning and administer the oath when necessary, plus issue the reminder also.
Mr. Chair, may I proceed? Today we have from the Commission on Audit, Ms. Heidi Mendoza, Commissioner, Mr. Jose Fabia, Commissioner, Ms. Merla C. Bagsit, OIC Supervising Auditor of Makati City Hall, Mr. Alexander Juliano, also of COA, COA Auditors and Technical Audit Personnel 2007 to 2013, Auditor Cecilia Cagaanan,
Is she here? Please join us, ma'am. Go ahead, Attorney Kimbo.
Engineer Saldi Lavaro, Engineer Roldan Menciano, Engineers Flora M. Ruiz, Ricardo R. Custodio, and Rosalina Prestosa. We also have Mr. Ernesto S. Mercado, former Vice Mayor of Makati, Engineer Mario U. Echanova, former Department Head, General Services Department, Government of the City of Makati, Attorney Renato Bondal, Mr. Nicolas Ching Enciso VI, and for Hillmarks, Attorney Paig. Kindly take your seat, please. From Cuervo Valuers.
Excuse me, Attorney Kimbo. Is Attorney Paig here? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Federico C. Cuervo, President and CEO. From Mana Architecture and Interior Design, Mr. Orlando M. Mateo, Principal Architect and Partner, is represented by Mr. Carlo Mateo. Mana. Yes, sir. So, is there anyone here whose name I have not mentioned? And those who are here for the first time, kindly stand and raise your right hand for the oath. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats. And the chairman has instructed me to remind those who have previously taken their oath that you are going to testify on the same oath.
Thank you, Attorney Kimbo. I was able to talk to Senator Soto earlier this morning, who made a manifestation on behalf of himself and Senator Sonasan, Ejercito, and Binay, that their request is that the hearing this morning be suspended until the jurisdictional challenge is raised before and resolved by the Mother Committee, headed by our regular chairman, Senator Gingona. So, but I clarified with him that is this a motion or a manifestation, and he said it is only a manifestation. So, no ruling is necessary. So, the records will bear the manifestation as I have stated just now. So, Senator Cayetano.
Mr. Chairman, after your preliminary remarks and administrative matters, may I say something on that
Go ahead.
manifestation?
No, my plan for today is actually to finish all issues regarding the Makati City Hall Parking Building 2. I'm glad that Hillmarks is here and Mana also is represented here. But Attorney Paig, are you ready to answer questions calling for details about the construction of the Makati City Hall Parking Building 2? Costing, etc.?
I'll try the best I can, Your Honor.
You have people behind you with the materials. And of course, we have our technical audit specialist here because we'll go through all the 5 phases. So we will try to at least close that issue so we can, the subcommittee can start writing the report as to that particular issue. The allegation that the Makati City Hall Parking Building 2 is overpriced, plus the related issues raised in the hearings. So may we ask
Mr. Chairman, before that.
Senator Cayetano?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before that, may I just have 2 or 3 minutes, tagal na pong 5 minutes, to be able to address the issues that were given, the issues that are addressed to the subcommittee. No? Let me start, Mr. Chairman, by the issue and the concept of due process. All of us are familiar, siguro naman po lahat tayo alam yung storya ni Eva at Adan, no? At pagkatapos linlangin ng ahas si Eva at pinakain yung prutas na dapat hindi kainin. Sabi sa Genesis 3:8, "The man and his wife heard the sound of the Lord as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hid from the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, 'Where are you?' He answered, 'I heard you in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid.' And he said, 'Who told you you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?' The man said, 'The woman put it here with me. She gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it.' Then the Lord said to the woman, 'What is this you have done?' The woman said, 'The serpent deceived me and I ate it.'" Ito po ang pinakamagandang illustration, Mr. Chairman, ng due process. Ang Diyos po ay alam lahat, regardless of our personal belief. Nung kinain po yung mansanas, ang sabi po ng Panginoon, "Nasaan kayo?" Sabi, "Nagtatago kami dahil hubad kami." Sino nagsabing hubad kayo? Kumain ba kayo sa puno na sinabi kong wag kayo, ng prutas sa punong sinabi kong wag? Ano po ibig sabihin nito? Alam na ng Diyos ang sagot, pero binigyan pa rin niya ng pagkakataon lahat sumagot. In other words, Mr. Chairman, the next slide, due process basically means to be heard before you are judged. No? And this committee is not judging a specific person. Ang ginajudge po natin dito, yung presyo ng Makati City Building 2 at yung iba pang mga binid sa City of Makati, kung totoong ito po ay may anomalya at corruption o wala. And we are giving everyone the opportunity to speak. Mayor Junjun Binay was here. Officials of the City of Makati were here. The Vice President is invited. Ang problema kung ayaw nila sumagot. So going now to the next slide, Mr. Chair, ang sagot po nila lately, kine-question po ang authority ng committee na to. Deja vu for me. Dahil ang ginagawa po ng Vice President Binay ay parehong-pareho ng ginawa ng kabinete at ni Ginang Arroyo nung panahon po ni President Arroyo sa lahat ng mga hearings dito sa atin. Pero let me show you Section 20 of the Rules on Investigation in Aid of Legislation. The chairman of a committee may create subcommittees as may be deemed necessary for the purpose of performing any and all acts which the committee as a whole is authorized to do and perform, except the power to punish for contempt under Section 18 hereof. Meaning, Mr. Chairman, nung ikaw po ay inappoint bilang subcommittee head, lahat ng kapangyarihan ng committee ay binigay sa iyo, pwera lang po sa iyo at sa subcommittee, pwera lang po yung pag-i-issue ng order ng contempt. Sa rules po, nakalagay din yung final report should be submitted not to the plenary, but to the main committee. Ibig sabihin po, kahit anong jurisdictional challenge, sa iyo po babaksak at nagruling na po kayo nung huling hearing. No? Ang masakit po dito, habang dinidelay itong hearing na to, sunod-sunod po ang reports namin ng mga hinaharas, mga inooperan, at mga witnesses na sinasabing wag na kayo mag-testify. In fact, if you look at this hall, nawala bigla ang mga taga-Makati. Ang sabi po, they will fully cooperate. But every time may isa silang sagot tungkol sa kahit anong issue na susundan po ito ng katuklasan natin na may iba pang anomalya sa kanila. So in the next hearings, Mr. Chair, I will ask that we require that the city officials, the budget officer, the administrator continue to be with us. To put to rest that issue, Mr. Chair, and go to the last two issues I want to discuss. Ito po ang sinabi ni Vice President Binay pagkatapos ng ating last hearing. Ito po ay nasa abs-cbn.com, no? Ang sinabi po niya na yung testimonya daw ng ating mga witnesses ay mere allegations kasi hindi daw na cross-examine. Nailagay din po to sa Inquirer.net. Kino-quote niya po ang dating Chief Justice Renato Puno na sinasabing allegation without cross-examination is not evidence but mere allegation. Very quickly, Mr. Chairman, again, the definition of oral or written, the definition of testimonial evidence is oral or written assertion offered in a court as proof of the truth of what is being stated. Section 20 Rules of Court, except as provided in the next succeeding sections, all persons who can perceive and perceiving can make known their perception to others may be witnesses. Very clear, Mr. President, na pwede yung testimonya ay nakasulat o pwede po sila magsalita dito at basta't may kapasidad silang to perceive and they can be perceiving, ibig sabihin po, nakakarinig, nakakakita, natitikman, basta't po yun ang testimony nila, tatanggapin po ng kahit anong korte sa ating bansa. Ano naman po ang cross-examination? Sabi po ng Black's Law Dictionary, the questioning of a witness or party during a trial, a hearing, or deposition by the party opposing the one who asked the person to testify in order to evaluate the truth of a person's testimony, to develop the testimony further, or to accomplish any other objective. The interrogation of a witness or party by the party opposed to the one who called the witness or party upon a subject raised during direct examination, the initial questions of a witness or a party on the merits of the testimony. Sa madaling sabi, Mr. Chairman, ang ginamit salita dito, interrogation o interrogasyon sa Tagalog or pagsisiyasat. Ibig sabihin po, pag nandito po ang hillmarks para sabihin hindi overpriced, yun po ang direct testimony nila. Ang kahit sino mang senador na magtatanong sa atin, ang tawag natin hindi cross-examination kung hindi clarificatory questions, sisiyasatin natin kung nagsasabi ba ng totoo ang hillmarks o hindi. So having said that, Mr. Chair, yung next po na slide, mismong Supreme Court sa Diaz versus Sandigan Bayan, GR number 101202, March 8, 1993, ang nagsabing, his testimony at the joint fact-finding investigation conducted by the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and the Ombudsman panel was given under oath and provide a sufficient basis for the Ombudsman to investigate his charges. Ano pong ibig sabihin? Kahit sino pong law student ay may alam na ang cross-examination ay epektibo para lumabas ang totoo. Kahit sino pwede po magsabi ng kahit ano. Pwedeng sabihin dito, ako ang pinakagwapong tao sa buong mundo. Pero sa cross-examination, makikita mo kung nanay mo lang nagsabi nun o kung totoo pa lang ikaw ang pinakagwapo sa buong mundo. But it is not the cross-examination that makes it evidence. It is the opportunity for cross-examination that makes it more credible. Ibig sabihin po, kung magsasalita ka, pero press con lang o speech o media, pero ayaw mo naman tanungin ka, paano pa niniwalaan yan? Pero kung haharap ka dito, papayag ka na kahit sino sisiyasatin ang sinasabi mo, dun po makakahusga ang komite at ang publiko kung sino nagsasabi ng totoo. Pati po ang COA nandito mamaya. Sa kanilang proseso po, pag may findings sila, meron pong conference pagkatapos yan. At kahit may findings na po sila, tatanungin pa rin nila sa ahensyang meron silang adverse findings na sumagot bago gumawa ng final. So lastly, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, ito po ang sinabi ng ating kagalang-galang na Vice Presidente. At tuwing may pagsubok, hindi ako aatras, hindi ako umaatras, ako ay laging lumalaban. We respect that, Mr. Vice President, pero huwag ka magtago. Ang ibig sabihin ng tuwing may pagsubok, hindi umatras, sumasagot sa issue, hindi panay press con at panay speech lang. Let me reiterate, Mr. Chairman, that there's an open investigation for the Vice President to come here. Pero kung siya po'y natatakot o siya'y umaatras sa laban dito sa Senado, pwede naman tayo ang pumunta sa Coco Palace. Pwede naman po siya mag-ayos doon at ilagay niya supporter niya doon sa Coconut Palace po, kung saan ang kanyang opisina, at pwede naman pong punuin niya ng supporters niya. Pero sa huling slide po ay pinapakita natin, ito po ang iba't ibang mga nag-witness dito. Kung ang tingin po ni VP Binay na sila'y nagsisinungaling, I will move to suspend the rules na siya mismo, dahil sabi niya ay matinik daw siyang abogado at siya daw ay human rights lawyer, siya mismo po ay mag-cross-examine sa lahat ng witnesses na pumunta dito. Pero payagan din naman niya tayo dahil siya ang mayor ng Makati nung ginawa itong mala anomalya o alleged anomalya na i-cross-examine din siya. Lastly, Mr. Chairman, let me just put on the record, no? I do not know why when Pulse Asia came out with its survey, all of the analysts, including the spokesman ng Vice President, said that Cayetano did not go up in the survey, therefore they should not investigate. I have investigated Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. I have filed the impeachment and signed the impeachment case against Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. I have signed the impeachment case against President Erap during that time. We have investigated and charges was filed against me in the Ethics Committee against First Gentleman Mike Arroyo. We went up against Senator Sani Angara and Senator Sani Trillanes and I. Nakipagdebate at lumabang kami kay Senate President Enrile during the height of his popularity. We also investigated the swine scam. We investigated the gift-giving o pagbibigay ng pera sa Malacanang. We investigated the fertilizer scam. We investigated the ZTE scam. Never did I look at surveys. And I will not look at surveys now. Maging negative 100 ako dyan, itutuloy pa rin tong investigasyon na to. Because in the end, Mr. Chairman, when we all die and when we go to meet our Maker, hindi naman tatanong ng Panginoon kung naging presidente ka o kung mataas ka sa survey. Ang tinatanong, ginawa mo ba trabaho mo? So on that point, Mr. Chairman, they can do a survey every day. And before we started this investigation, they warned me. Sabi, Alan, imbestigahan mo na lang yung MRT, imbestigahan mo mga polis, imbestigahan mo to kasi walang laban yung mga yon, di ba? At magiging popular ka. Pero banggain mo si Vice President Binay, yung makinarya niya, yung PR niya, babaksak sa survey. So what? We cannot get rid of corruption in this country unless we investigate regardless of the consequences. So, Mr. Chairman, let me reiterate my support to your subcommittee, and we will continue to do this as long as we are searching for the truth, and the truth will bear us out in the end. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Cayetano. May I ask now the Director General to report to the subcommittee who were issued subpoenas and received the said documents and who are not present today.
May I proceed, Mr. Chair? In a report dated September 29th from the Office of the Sergeant at Arms, it says, attached herewith are the receiving copies of the subpoena ad testificandum, which were duly served by this office on September 29th, addressed to the following: Mayor Erwin Jejomar S. Binay Jr. Number 2, Ms. Ebeng Baloloy. Number 3, Attorney Eleno M. Mendoza. Number 4, Ms. Marjorie De Vera. Number 5, Ms. Vicia Marie Aldon. Number 6, Engineer Line de la Peña. Number 7, Engineer Mario Badillo. Number 8, Mr. Danilo Villas. Number 9, Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr. Number 10, Ms. Aida Alcantara. Number 11, Ms. Bernadette Portaliano. And number 12, Ms. Jairine Lopez. Further, it says, the subpoena testificandum addressed to Mr. Kim Tun S. Chong, Ms. Irene S. Chong, Ms. Amy S. Chong, Ms. Iris S. Chong, Ms. Erlinda S. Chong, Ms. Margaret Licknock, Mr. Kim Sfer S. Chong, and Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, directors of the Miriras Realty and Development Corporation, were not served for the reason that Miriras Realty and Development Corporation could not be located along JP Rizal Extension, Makati City, which was the address indicated in the subpoena ad testificandum. Before leaving the Senate, our subpoena server, with the aid of Google Maps, was able to get the exact location of the given address. After following the directions, he was brought to a site where a building stands. It was closed and had no markings in it. In the second letter from the Office of the Sergeant at Arms, it says that the subpoena testificando addressed to the persons listed here under were not served. The person claiming to be a private security guard of the building did not permit our subpoena server to get inside the building and told her that he does not know the person listed in the subpoena and the company Meriras Realty and Development Corporation. He also refused to give his name. These are the following names: Irene Chong, Kim Sfer Chong, Amy Chong, Irish Chong, Kim Tun Chong, and Erlinda Chong. Furthermore, the subpoena testificando addressed to Ms. Margaret Licknock was not also served. According to Mr. Raymond J. Raimundo, the building administrator, there is no Meriras Realty and Development Corporation leasing in their building in his 16 years of service in that building. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Kimbo.
Mr. Chair, may I
Senator
make a
Cayetano?
proposal that as far as Mr. Limlingan is concerned, no, who in my description is the Napoles of the Binays, no, if the testimonies here are to be believed. Pero lahat po ng address na papuntahan natin, sinasabi bigla na wala siya doon. May I make a proposal that we write to the SEC, to the Securities and Exchange Commission, dahil tad-tad ng pangalan niya yung iba't ibang korporasyon at meron address doon. At pangalawa po sa BID or sa Bureau of Immigration. And doon po ay kunin natin yung address at padalan po ng subpoena. Pangalawa po, i-publish na po natin yung pangalan niya. Kasi napaka-absurd, Mr. Chair, kung papayagan natin na lahat ng bibigyan ng subpoena, susulat lang po ang manager or yung kasambahay or kung sino man nandun sa bahay para sabihin na hindi na siya dun umuwi at pagkatapos ay makakaligtas siya. No? I think masyado pong malaki, masyado mabigat ang allegation sa kanya na hindi niya sagutin dito mismo. And remember, he's an officer of these corporations, and these corporations are registered under law. So if there are no objections, Mr. Chair, I'd like to propose that, no? That the Secretariat or the Chairman write the SEC and BID, get the addresses, send the subpoena there, but at the same time, we publish his name together with the subpoena requiring him to be here on October 8th in our next hearing.
No, I agree with the proposal of Senator Cayetano that for those who we cannot locate, we have to improve our fact-finding and investigative capacities and appeal to those who know these people to provide this subcommittee with their correct residence or location. But as far as subpoena by publication, can we defer action on that proposal and study the matter further, Senator Cayetano?
Mr. Chairman, this is my point. I will adhere to your decision. Let me just explain. This is not a case wherein hindi sila doon nakatira or hindi natin alam ang address. All the addresses that our staff or our servers have gone to, no, are actually registered address nila. Nagtatago talaga. So, in the past, kapag ka yung titulo ay nasa pangalan ng tao or yung address niya ay nandun na sa SEC registration or sa registration ng kumpanya, ibigay mo lang doon, that would be sufficient. Afterwards, we issue a show cause order pagka hindi sila nagpakita and then order to arrest. In this case lang, ang ginawa nila, instead of hindi lang sumasagot, sinasabing hindi na dito nakatira. But katulad po ni Mr. Limlingan, no? Nasa core group ni VPB na yan, parating kasama yan, at regular ang meeting niyan. Imposibleng hindi niya alam na pinapatawag siya sa hearing na to. But for me, Mr. Chair, if you would like to study the matter as far as the publication, I will adhere to that. But can we write the BID, the Bureau of Immigration and Deportation, and the SEC, and then send the subpoena to the to the addresses there. And I think under the law, that would be sufficient. If he still doesn't appear, then the show cause and maybe an order of arrest, Mr. Chair.
Yes, asking the BID and researching addresses with the SEC records will be part of our initiative, additional efforts to locate Mr. Limlingan, as well as those the other people who were not properly served the subpoena. But as of the moment, we will have to react based on the report given to us by our process servers. Senator Trillanes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just following through dun sa ni-raise po ni Senator Cayetano, si Vice President Binay ang may alam kung nasaan si Mr. Jerry Limlingan. As you mentioned, kasama yan niya sa mga meetings. Jerry Limlingan has been joining meetings along with the Vice President. They're everywhere. So, sa akin nga, kailangan tatanungin. Siguro yung mga kasama natin sa media, tanungin nila kung ano ba yung relationship ni Jerry Limlingan with the Vice President. Para on the spot. Tapos, kung talagang lumalaban siya, hindi siya umatras, i-encourage niya na umattend ng hearing natin. Ano? So, well, I believe we have exhausted enough, and this is my opinion, yung paghanap sa kanila, and it's time to take this thing to the next level. Of course, without trampling upon their individual rights. Pero kailangan makompel natin sila na pumunta rito. If not, eventually, ma-issuehan sila ng warrant of arrest. So, it goes with itong sa heel marks, yung mga alibay na sumakit siyan, hindi na obra yan. Next hearing, they have to be here. Okay? Attorney Peig. Okay? Then, as well as yung mga City Hall officials. Yung City Hall officials, ano ito talagang hinahamon nila itong ating Senado. So, sabi ko nga, we will not take that sitting down. We will exhaust and exert all necessary measures to compel them. Hindi sila pwedeng magtago sa saya ni Vice President dito. Dahil lahat sila, kakalad ka rin namin dito. Ngayon, itong sila Erlinda Chong and family, Mr. Chairman, kailangan nandito na rin sila next hearing dahil yung ganito nag-aalibay, nagtatago, hindi pwedeng hindi nasiserban. We have there are other ways. I'm sure nababalitaan nila ito sa kanilang mga kamag-anak, so siguradong alam nila ito. So, pagka hindi sila mag-appear dito, pati sila, Mr. Canlas, yung buong pamilya nila, member ng board. Ganun din yung sila, Mrs. Erlinda Chong, yung buong pamilya nila should be here. Mr. Chairman, masyado na tayo mabait, Mr. Chairman. I believe kailangan na nating mag-assert. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, on that point, I was informed that in the past, the Blue Ribbon Committee made use of the services of the NBI, the National Bureau of Investigations, to serve the subpoenas. So let me just put that on the table and make that option available to the chair. And lastly, Mr. Chair, I was just reviewing the information that is pouring into our different offices. And there are some reports, of course, it is difficult to verify because of the bank secrecy law, that there's heavy withdrawals to certain persons that have been mentioned here in the hearing, specifically on issues of graft and corruption. And it is very clear in the anti-money laundering law that unlawful activity refers to any act or omissions or series or combination thereof involving or having relation to the following. Section 3, paragraph B, C, E, G, H, and I of Republic Act 3019 as amended otherwise known as the Anti-Graft Law and Corruption Practice Act, and the Plunder Law under Republic Act number 7080. Therefore, Mr. Chair, may I also move that in the next hearing we call the Anti-Money Laundering Council to be able to see whether they have been monitoring this hearing and whether they've been monitoring the bank accounts of the people that have been mentioned only as regards to the unlawful activity, which is the plunder and graft and corruption. I think the head is the executive director. Well, they have an executive director, but they also have a board. No? The executive director is usually the one who attends this hearing.
Let us issue a subpoena to the executive director of the Anti-Money Laundering Council. Invitation only, because definitely he will come here. So for our October 8th hearing. Okay, so before I act on the information that some people have received this subpoena but are not here, I see Attorney Claro Certeza seated there. Do you want to say something, sir?
Good morning, Your Honors. We would like to request that we be recognized just to make a manifestation, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, please, yesterday we filed a manifestation with motion to the Blue Ribbon Committee as a whole, Your Honors. This was brought out by the fact that we read in the media that Senator Gingona was saying that he was not aware of our jurisdictional challenge. So what we did, Your Honor, is file a manifestation and attach to that the jurisdictional challenge that we filed earlier, Your Honors. Now, given this development, Your Honors, we would like to respectfully request that pursuant to Section 3, that we defer the hearing today, Your Honors, considering that Section 3 clearly states that when there is an existing jurisdictional challenge, then such challenge must be resolved by the committee, Your Honors, please. So with due respect to this subcommittee, Your Honor, we are asking that the matter be brought before the committee as a whole, and that in the meantime, we just defer, Your Honor, the inquiry pursuant to the rules of the Senate, Your Honors.
Thank you, Panyero, for your manifestation. It is already noted. So for those, you want to say something? Senator Trillanes?
I'd like to ask Attorney Certeza, Mr. Chairman, anong basis ng jurisdictional challenge?
Your Honors, we enumerated several grounds po.
Just on record, para lang malaman ng publiko, ano yung basis nyo, bakit pinapahinto, bakit nyo china-challenge yung jurisdiction itong subcommittee na ito?
Ang isa pong ground na nire-raise namin doon, Senator Trillanes, is the fact that this investigation appears to be not in aid of legislation anymore. At sinasabi po namin ito because as we observe in the proceedings, it all started with an investigation on alleged overprice of building, Your Honors, which is Makati City Hall Building 2. But as the hearings progress, Your Honors, we have been subjected to so many issues already regarding alleged overprice of cakes, alleged overprice of other buildings, accumulation of antiques, Your Honors. And we believe at this point, Your Honor, the mayor does not know anymore what the issues are pending before this committee.
Okay, una-una, Attorney Certeza, he doesn't need to know at all. No? Tapos, pangalawa, ang ibig mo sabihin, kunyari may ma-uncover kami na anomalya na naka 1 billion outside dun sa Makati City Hall parking building, hihinto namin. Is that what you're saying, Attorney Certeza?
No, Your Honor,
Okay.
because
No, okay.
if there is
Now,
an issue...
Attorney Certeza, let me continue. Dito sa Section 20, nabasa mo ba ito? Itong delegation
Yes,
of
Your
authority? Okay. Nakalagay dito, the chairman of a committee may create subcommittees as may be deemed necessary for the purpose of performing any and all acts which the committee as a whole is authorized to do and perform, except the power to punish for contempt. So in short, yung authority ng isang committee na delegate na dito. So, ito hong ginagawa nyo, alam mo yan, Atty. Certeza, if you're worth that expensive suit you're wearing, alam mo that flimsy yung inyong basis. At wala, for that matter, wala nga basis at all. At in fact, ang ginagawa nyo lang is paano ihinto itong hearing natin dahil hindi nyo na masagot. Diba? Nung una sinasabi, bring it on. Bring it on. So ito. Pangalawa, political lang yan. Wala yan. Kung wala ito, kung hindi kayo affected, then dapat wala kayong, hindi nyo nire-raise yan. So ano na ba ngayon yung linya? Politika or masakit na kaya kailangan ng ihinto? Ano ba yan, Atty. Certeza?
May I respond, Mr. Chair?
Ay, hindi na lang. Si Chairman na lang.
Actually, this is already not in accordance with the rules. Council is not allowed really to argue with the subcommittee. But we have noted your manifestation, and it is filed with the chairman of the Blue Ribbon. So we will not act on that because he has to act on that.
Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, just as another request, please, if your honors will agree that if the proceedings will proceed today, that the objections of these representations be put on record only, Your Honor.
Yes, it's now captured by our recording system and already transcribed.
Mr.
On
Chair,
that note, thank you very
Thank you.
much, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair,